Hello.
Hello,
Okay, you
can you
can.
hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Okay, let's.
Sorry, I didn't know that we had to use the same link.
Okay. Okay, let's start with the IELTS reading today. So you are doing general, right? I just have to make sure. Okay, so when it comes to IELTS reading, unlike any other reading test, the important thing that you need to consider when it comes to reading is the time. Okay, time is very limited.
Yes.
Reading is a test of it English language, understanding it timed environment. So unlike any other exam, you have to do this. You have to read, understand, write within a specific time. Actually, the time is very limited. They give you an extremely long passage, actually three passages, and then you will have to read it, understand it, and then go into depth and then answer the questions, right? So it is going to not just a reading test, it is going to check you on your vocabulary knowledge, the pace of your reading, and understanding of the text as well. So the things that they are considering actually whether about your overall understanding about your when it comes to reading, and whether you can identify information, whether you can scan specific information, whether you can recognize ideas and do summarizing. So if you have searched the internet, you may have seen there are two specific techniques when it comes to reading, to how to do IELTS reading. So they will tell you two techniques, actually scanning and skimming, the most famous techniques when it comes to reading. So have you ever seen that?
No,
Scanning and
no.
skimming. So they will tell you if you search the internet. So I'm now going to teach those two lessons, actually those two ones. Actually it's not going to work, scanning and skimming, when it comes to reading, because of course there are like different types of questions when it comes to reading. So for some questions you will have to scan, for other questions you will have to skim. So that is going to take a lot of time, and the timing might not be enough. So I will tell you one specific technique that is going to be applied for all. So if you know this one technique, you can apply it for everything, then you can complete within the given time, right? So there are two different tests, IELTS academic and IELTS general. The exam to different exams. Actually general exam is quite easier than when compared with the academic test. The context is different. The pattern, the time they give you is the same. So when it comes to the paper based exam, they don't give you an extra transfer time like in the listening test. You will have to read and write the answers at the same time on your test paper. They don't give you extra time, so you have to be conscious. If you don't do so, the examiner might come to you and tell you, please transfer, you don't have time. They will do that. So while reading, you have to write the answers directly on the answer sheet. So the time given to you is 1 hour, and there will be part 1, part 2, part 3, 3 parts. So you will have to divide your time by looking at the clock by 20 minutes. You will have to take 20 minutes for each section. You cannot take more than that. If you take more than that for one section, most of the time what happens is students don't have time to write the third paragraph. They will spend like 25 minutes on the first one, then like another 30 minutes on the second one, and then they don't have time to do the third one, and that's how that most of the marks are reduced when it comes to reading. So in order to answer all three parts of the questions, you will have to stop. Even though you write or not, you have to stop in 20 minutes. The first one has to be finished in 20 minutes by looking at the clock, second has to be finished in 20 minutes, third has to be finished in 20 minutes, right? And normally it has around 900 to more than sometimes 1200 words, so it's a lot of context. So when it comes to academic reading and general reading, there will be 60 minutes and there will be 40 questions. Each question will carry 1 mark. One question and 1 mark.
Oh, 40 questions as in for all the three passages? Or?
Part 1, part 2 and part 3. All parts of the
Okay.
question. Altogether you have 40 questions, and each question will carry 1 mark. So for
Okay.
academic reading, they will take extracts from journals, books, magazines and newspapers. But for when it comes to general reading test, they will apart from those, they will take extracts from advertisements, company handbooks and guidelines. More general topics. So you will have to be conscious about the topics as well. You don't have to have extra knowledge. Just by reading the paragraph, you will have to understand what they're saying actually. So the most important in the reasons the topics in IELTS reading and writing are difficult because it is carefully produced and tested to ensure a consistent level of difficulty across all test versions. So the IELTS itself, they say the reading and the writing tests are difficult actually, other than the listening one and the speaking one. Right? So the instructions, when it comes to reading test, the instructions are very important. Just like in the listening test, you will have to adhere to the number of words they tell you. So they will say stick to one word and a number, or write no more than 2 words, no more than 3 words. So the best thing is that you don't have to write grammatically correct sentences when it comes to reading long sentences. Just the most number of words that you will have to write is 3. So even when it comes to comprehension questions, you don't have to write, you cannot actually write full grammatically correct sentences, just parts of the sentence, just the answer to what they are asking. So if you write more than the number of words they ask you to write, your answer is incorrect.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind. But when you have to do, there will be questions like sentence completion, summary completion. So when you do such questions, after you have complete the sentence or the summary, it has to be grammatically correct. The answer you will have to put an answer that is going to make the sentence grammatically correct. And plural, singular, plural, you will have to consider that also, just like in the listening test. So if not, your answer is incorrect. And spellings, it has to be correct. You can write in American English or British English, doesn't matter, but stick to one. So if you write anything else, incorrect spellings, your answer is incorrect. And source of the passage I told you. And vocabulary skills is required. It is good to have a vast vocabulary because most of the questions are following the paraphrased format. Most of the questions are in a different set of words than the paragraph. So there will be different words in the paragraph, and they will use synonyms to paraphrase the questions in the text. So you will have to look for similar words when you write answers. You cannot find, most of the time you cannot find the direct answer. Okay, so be conscious about that. You will have to match headings, match sentence endings, multiple choice questions, labeling the diagram, note completion, summary completion, flowchart completion, sentence completion, true false not given questions, short answer type questions, identifying information, matching the features. So all of these questions can be answered in the same format except for the diagram label completion, which is not common when it comes to general IELTS. I will tell you how to do that. Apart from that, all of the other questions can be completed using the same technique, right? Except for the matching questions and the diagram label completion questions, all of the other questions follow the order of the text. So it is easier when you write answers. You will have to follow the order of the text. You don't have to look here and there to find answers. You just have to go with the flow of the text, right? Don't waste time by looking up and down. Just like in the listening test, it is following the order, except in the matching questions, because matching questions, it doesn't serve your purpose if it is going in an order. Except for those questions, all of the other tests, true false questions, summary completion, everything else is coming in an order.
So the match the reading,
match the headings,
match the headings, match the sentence
anything that you
endings,
have to match
and
the features, match the letters, anything that is coming, start when they say match these match something, it is not following the order. You will have to read the entire questions to answer that, entire text to answer that. But when I tell you the strategy, you can follow the same strategy for all of these, so it is easier. You don't have to read here and there to, even for matching questions, to answer correctly. So it will save your time.
Okay, a quick question, Hadi. So you know how you told me that there are two specific techniques that the
Yeah,
internet says about
scanning
like
and skimming.
scanning and skimming.
Yeah,
So those, other than those, you are going to teach
yeah,
me another technique, just
just
one
one
technique,
technique.
which can be used for all of them, other than
No,
the match,
except for
like
the
the match
diagram
sort of.
labeling questions. Diagram labeling question where you will have to study a diagram and then read the text and do find the answers. For that you will have to do scanning technique. Except for that, all of the other questions can do in the technique that I'm going to teach, where you have to read in chunks. Actually, it is going to, you
Okay.
don't have to
So the match and
match headings also. You can,
I'm a bit
you will
confused.
see when it comes matching headings and matching the
Oh,
letters, it can be also done in the same pattern. I will tell you how to do it.
oh,
And remember, each word is not
okay.
important. The importance is by reading the entire passage you will have to get the entire meaning. Not each word is not important. So if there's a difficult word that you don't understand, it is not a problem. You can skip it and then just get the general idea of the entire passage. Especially when it comes to
Yeah.
true false not given questions, you will have to read the entire thing. You cannot scan or skim to find the answers. You will have to read the entire thing and find the answer and get the idea of it. And
Okay.
timing is everything, as I told you. You have to, don't take more than 20 minutes for one part, and there will be
Okay.
three parts, so altogether 60 minutes. And level of difficulty increases with each passage. So first one is always going to be easier than the second and the third one. Third one is the most difficult paragraph.
Okay. And then this, like, when I can't remember, that's why I'm asking you this many questions. So when we sit down for the exam, I get all the three passages
Yeah,
at the same
yeah,
time,
they
or?
give you the entire paper,
Okay.
so you will have to
Okay, so I can start with the difficulty one
yeah,
and then go to the.
next one. Yeah,
Okay.
but don't take more than 20 minutes for the third part as well. Yeah,
That's right.
don't take more than that.
Okay, but when I'm practicing, I'll do 18. So, like,
Right,
when I try
so
practicing
that's
at
better.
home, I'll try to, yeah, so at least at like that 2 minute gap
Yeah,
is always there to recheck
yeah,
or something.
yeah, that's
Okay.
better. Another thing is that move on when you're stuck on a question. Don't waste time if you don't know an answer. Just move on to the next question. And
Okay.
if you don't know an answer, especially when it comes to true, false, not given, and multiple choice questions, or for anything else, don't leave any blank answers. Just write something and come,
Okay.
because they won't give you minus marks for incorrect answers. If it is wrong, they will just put a 0, and that's all.
Zero.
So you can
Okay. So for
yeah,
listening also,
listening also,
40 out
yeah,
of 40, and this
listening
is
also the same. So you can, because you can score well with the most probable answer. So guess and write if you don't know an answer to a question, and if you don't have time to write an answer, you can fill in the gap, fill in the box actually in the reading answer sheet. The listening, it is the same answer sheet when for reading as well, the little boxes in the listening one.
yeah. Okay.
So the difference between IELTS reading is all about the band score when it comes to general IELTS and academic IELTS. If you look at this, I don't know whether you can see, yeah, here.
Yes. Yeah, I can.
See the number of correct answers
Yeah.
that you have to get a band 7 for general reading scores is 34 to 35. You will have to get 34 to
Okay.
35 correct answers to get a band 7 for general reading scores. But for academic IELTS, you will have to only get 30 to 32 answers correct to get a band 7. Because this is because the academic
Okay.
IELTS
So
is a
that.
bit difficult. So the level number of correct answers that you have to get correct to get a higher band score is higher in general IELTS. So to get a band 9, you will have to get 40 out of 40. So that is there when it comes to general IELTS. So if you will have to aim for like 37 or 39 answers to get band 8 or 8.5 in general IELTS, and it is not so in academic IELTS.
Yeah, even though the general one
You will
is
have to
here,
get,
the
scoring is difficult when it comes to general IELTS. That's there. So maybe I will send you this, maybe take a note so you can correct your answers by yourself. So these are the questions. Can you read this text, the first Olympics brought together, and tell me whether this the statement, the spectators of the ancient Olympics as well as the participants were all male, whether this statement is true, false, or not given.
The first Olympics brought together men who wore contrast English and its colonies. The sacred truce was declared to women to travel, since it women could not take part. I don't know what's the meaning of the spectators.
Spectators are the ones who are going, ones who are coming to watch the games, actually, games or film or anything. Spectators of the ancient Olympics as well as the participants were all male.
The first one. It is false.
The first Olympics brought together men from war-torn tribes and the states in Greece and its colonies. The sacred truce was declared to allow men to travel to the games in safety. Women could not take part and were forbidden to attend the games.
Oh,
It
is true.
It has to be true.
Because because it was forbidden to attend the game
women
also.
to attend the games and also to watch the games. So this answer has to be true. Okay, so this is how tricky when it comes to reading tests. The answers are hidden, so you will have to dig deep to find the answers, especially when it comes to true, false, not given questions. For most of the students, this is the most difficult type of question. True, false, not given. For some, it is for some actually find the matching headings questions difficult, and some find this true, false, not given questions a bit difficult. So you have to pay attention when you write answers. You have to dig deep to find the answers. Okay, so this is your answer sheet. This is similar to the listening one. So can we take 20 minutes to whether you can to see how you write the first section, answer the first question. You have the book, right? Okay, I will give you 20 minutes. Try and answer the questions.
Sorry, Avant, is it the same one that you sent me before?
I think page, the one you did for listening, it is the same.
Oh, hold on, because I don't have any pages for the
reading.
The reading bit.
This passage. How many pages were there in the book? I think I sent you a PDF. So
yeah, I did. You did send me. It's only 20 pages.
The entire book had only 20 pages. Right. Yeah, it's on the page 11. Something about the earth. Shall I?
Yes, right? Sorry. Right.
I think I have sent the correct book. Something about the earth.
Yes, it is about it.
So questions 1 to 13 and Yeah, 1 to 13 only. Yeah, 1 to 13. Can see whether you can answer that in 20 minutes.
Okay. Avanti, how much more time do I have?
Hello. Okay. Have you finished writing the answers?
How long? Yes, I did.
Okay, can later.
I'm sorry I didn't do the timing. I wasn't
Okay,
sure.
I think it took less than 20 minutes. It's like 12 minutes. No, 14 minutes. Yes. Can you tell me the answers?
Okay. For the number 1,
Hmm.
it is H,
Hmm.
and 2, it is G, and 3,
Yeah.
it is A, and
Hmm.
4, it is F, and 5 is
Hmm.
C,
Yes.
6 is D, and 7
Hmm.
is E, and 8 is B.
Right.
And number
Hmm.
9, it's Mercury, and 10 is
Hmm.
reflects light, and
Hmm.
11 is Species, 12 is the
Yeah.
Orion Arm, and I'm not sure, the 13 is the
Yeah,
other
other
half.
half is correct, but it has to be the word for opposite of always. So it has to be never. The rest of the answers are correct actually. All the answers are correct.
Okay.
So can you tell me how you attempt the questions?
Okay.
No,
H,
yeah.
G, F,
Alright.
A, F.
You first read the questions and then went to the passage, or how?
I didn't do
Hmm.
like a proper thing. First, I didn't understand whether I need to put the A, B, C, and D for
Hmm.
like the first to 8. I was writing like 500 whatever kilometers
Yeah.
million, and then I realized it's not the way I should be doing. And then so when I went through the reading, I was like, I'm feeling I don't know the questions, so I went back to the questions and quickly skimmed through the questions, and then started reading again.
Yeah. Right.
And then let's say if I, yeah, it's not a proper thing that I did. So like if I went to the first one, says Earth's
Hmm.
natural satellite, I wasn't sure about it when I was reading, because it has so many like in so many paragraphs it had
Uh, uh,
it being like around the sun, and yeah, so I skipped all those, some of the
hmm.
ones that I don't
Hmm.
understand. I went to the next
So
question, and then the most certain ones I put it,
okay, you just
and then I came back
yeah. So you
to,
just
yeah.
yeah.
I think I was at
Yeah, okay. The
20.
question said right is what the question said. You have to read in the passage. One has 8 paragraphs, A to H. Which paragraph contains the following information? Write the correct letter A to H in boxes 1 to 8 on your answer sheet. So you have to write the letter. So it is mentioned there in the question, right? So these are matching questions. So the order is not followed through. So you will have to go through everything. So I will tell you how to do it specifically. Actually, this is not a specific method. If it is not fitting, you can skip and you can follow your own method, but it's going to save a lot of time. First one is, the thing is that you have to
Yeah,
read in chunks, right? Because the entire
chunk.
passage is
Okay.
too long and it's difficult to remember the entire thing. Luckily this has letters, okay, ABC. The other passages might not
Yes.
contain letters. So in this, so you first can you read the first, the one on the letter A?
Yes, the Earth is the third part planet from the Sun, and it is only planet known to have life on it. The Earth formed 4.5 billion years ago. It is one of four rocky planets on the inside of the solar system. The, the other three are
So
Mercury,
read
Venus, and
that
Mars.
part and keep in read consciously actually, then go to the questions, right? So it's you can read the since these are matching questions, you will have to read from 1 to 8, the whether A is going to suit anywhere, right? See whether it's going to suit anywhere. The Earth's natural satellite, probably we will put a distance between Earth and Sun. Did you read anything regarding distance between Earth and Sun? No, right?
No,
So you can just skip it. General
no,
information
no.
about Earth. So likely put A. So you're writing
Yeah.
in a pencil, so it doesn't matter. You can erase it later. Did you read anything regarding the solar system?
Yeah. I think, yeah, because
The
it's
solar
inside
system,
of
yeah.
the
So
solar
you
system,
can put
whatever.
A, maybe later on you can change it. So just put an A there.
Yeah.
Length of most months, actually this, no, you didn't read
No,
anything. So another name for Earth, no. The living
no,
part
it
of the Earth's
didn't say
surface,
anything
no.
like
The
that.
movements of Earth around the Sun,
No.
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 You didn't read
No.
anything regarding that, so you can skip the rest of it and put the answers for Earth's natural satellite. Do you think that it's going to be, maybe, right? You don't know which one, so put A there, and third one as well,
Yeah.
and in the solar system as well. And then go to the questions from next set of questions also, because this is from part 1. So apart from Earth, the other rocky planets in the solar systems are Venus, Mars, and blank. So the answer was there, right? We just read it. It was directly there, Mercury. So put
Yeah.
Mercury there. And
Mercury. Yeah.
since there was the answer for the ninth one, you will have to check the 10th one as well. These questions follow the order of the text. These are not matching questions, so fill in the blanks
Mm.
questions. So moon blank from sun on Earth. So I don't think you can find any answer from the part we just read. So skip on to the next part of the passage and then read the next passage, second one.
It's about the vitamin
No,
shop and
the
that one.
Earth, yeah, B, part B.
Oh no, sorry. The large mass of the sun makes the Earth move around it, just as the mass of the Earth makes the moon around
Yes.
it. The torso turns around in space, so different parts face the sun at different times. The Earth goes around the sun once, 1 year,
And
for every 365 quarter times, turns all the way around in one day.
so you will have to see
Correct.
whether the B fits anywhere. So where it's going.
If it's not like, like when I read
Hmm.
a passage and then if it's not like registering whatever which is telling in that, like, because it's
Yeah.
like the stress and everything sitting down for an exam. So what do you think I should do? This
Yeah,
is just the
it has to
practice
be a
that needs
practice,
to
and you will. The
happen
thing is
before.
that you will have to read it consciously, otherwise it won't go to your head. Yeah, you will. The number of times you have to read the passage has to be limited. Actually, if you spend more than twice reading the same part of the paragraph, it will waste a lot of time. So when you read, you will have to read consciously. Right? You will have to do that anyway. That has to be done. So you will have to do some practice and then uh, get used to it actually. Otherwise, it's going to be quite difficult. Right. So,
Yeah.
okay, so where it's going to, where you can put B there actually. Earth's natural satellite, no.
No.
Distance between sun,
Distance between
no.
the
Wait.
no. General information about
Earth, likely, no, maybe we put A.
make
Solar system, no. I didn't read anything. Length of most
No,
months,
no.
another name for planet, the living part of the Earth's surface. We didn't read anything like that. So, the movements of Earth around the Sun, likely right. Yes, the answer is there. So
Yes.
put B there, and we
Yes.
wrote the answer for number 9. Moon. Then we are going to read number 10. Moon blank from Sun to Earth. We read anything regarding that. No, so you can skip
No,
the
no.
rest of the questions as well. You don't even have to read it. If you want to read, you can read and go to part C.
Yeah. Okay. The moon goes around the earth about 27 3/4 days and reflects light from the sun. As the earth goes around the sun at the same time, the changing light from the moon takes about 29.5 days to go from dark to bright to dark again. This is where the idea of month came from. However, now most months have 30 or 31 days, so they fit
Yeah,
into
so
1
the
year.
answer is directly there. So by now we have read some of the questions, so we can read, we can remember actually. So you can read from 1 to length of
The
most
months.
months. So you can, we are going to put C there, and we are going to go to question number 10. Moon blank from the sun on earth.
Moonlight
Light is
reflects
directly there,
the
so we are
light.
going to put reflects light from sun on earth, right? So since we wrote the answer for number 10, we are going to read the number 11th as well. There are millions of blank of plants and animals that inhabit earth. We couldn't find the answers. We are going to read D.
And Avanti, is there a spelling
Fifth one,
mistake in the
yeah,
question? Or?
in the fifth one, yeah, it has to be
Yeah,
month.
okay. The Earth is the only planet in our solar system that has a large amount of liquid water. About 71% of the surface of Earth is covered by oceans. Because of this, it is sometimes called blue
The
planet.
answer name for
Yeah, another name.
D there, and go to the rest of the
Yeah.
questions. So there may be, you can put, not just
And
once, you
Avanti,
might be able to put D's somewhere else also, so you will have to look for the rest of the answers as well. Okay, it might repeat, so here it was not repeating. Yeah,
oh, it might repeat. Okay. Okay. So it could be either 3, the answer 3 has A in it, but also the number 7 can have the answer A as well.
two
And
answers,
can one answer
not
have
likely,
2?
no. Unless
Like
it's a multiple choice question. So we have,
okay.
and so we are going to read now question number 11. There are millions of blank of plants and animals that inhabit earth. The answer was there, right? Was there the answer? No, we couldn't find that. No,
No,
it's not. On the other
no,
one.
it's on the other one.
So we are going to read that as well. E.
Okay. Okay. Because of its water, the Earth is home to millions of species of plants and animals. The things that live on Earth have changed its surface greatly. For example, early cyanobacteria changed the air and gave it oxygen. The living part of the Earth's surface is called biosphere. Biosphere.
So we read that in the question. Yeah, then there's for number
Yes,
7.
7. Number
So
7,
we
the
have
living
to
part
put
of the
E
Earth's
there, go to
surface.
questions of
And
species
there are
for number
millions
11.
of
So we
species.
cannot write number 12. So we are going to read the next passage. If the earth is part of the
If the Earth is part of the 8 planets and many thousands of small bodies that move around the Sun as its solar system. The solar system is moving through the Orion arm of the Milky Way galaxy now and will be for about
years.
the next 10,000
Where
years.
can we put
So
solar
we,
system only.
the solar system
Yeah, so we read
definitely
about
number
solar system, and here
and
for number 12, this now the
yeah,
solar system is traveling through the Orion arm. You can say the Orion arm, what, and the Milky Way galaxy, but you have to stick to number like no more than 3 words. So you just write the
no
Milky,
3 words.
what, the Orion arm,
Yeah.
just the Orion arm. Number 13 also you cannot write the answer from that part, so we are going to read number G, letter G, right? Yes.
The Earth is generally 150 million kilometers or 93 million miles away from the Sun. This distance is
Yeah.
named as astronomical unit. The Earth moves along its way at an average speed of 30 kilometers or 90 miles a second. The Earth turns all the way around about 365 and quarter times in the time it takes for the Earth to go all the way around the Sun. To make up this extra bit of a day every year, an additional day is used every 4 years.
Yeah.
This is named
So
a
where can we
leap year.
put G? Yeah. Oh, yeah, G.
Definitely
Between
the number
Earth and
two
Sun.
distance.
So
It
can
mentions
we
about
write
distance.
any rest of the answers from there?
And
1 to 8? No. So dark side of the moon, we didn't read anything regarding.
no, we have already here.
So let's go to H.
Yeah. The moon goes around the Earth at an average distance of 400 and 400 400,000
You don't have
kilometers
to worry about the numbers. Okay.
and 250 thousand miles. It is locked to Earth so that it always has the same half facing the Earth. The other half is called the dark side of the moon. It takes about 27
Days. Days.
3/4 for the moon to go all the way around the Earth. But because the Earth is moving around the Sun at the same time, it takes about 29 and a half days for the moon to go back from dark to bright to dark again. This is where the word month came from, even though most months now have 30 or 31 days.
You might will have a doubt whether it's going to talk about the length of the most months, but it's a more proper answer. So we are not going to take that part. Rest of it, Earth's natural satellite, because it says the moon is kind of fixed to the Earth and going along with it. So that is how we have to take the answer.
Yeah.
So we have to put
Yeah.
H there in in front of Earth's natural satellite. The last one where we have to write the dark side.
Even though it says about the month, it doesn't.
About the
Because
length of the month.
it doesn't mention about the length of the month.
The answer, moon is the side
The dark
of
side
which
of the moon, the side.
actually it has to be never faces the Earth. You can put actually doesn't face the Earth, but it doesn't give a grammatical. But what was the answer you wrote? Which half faces the Earth?
The
That is
other
kind
half
of
faces Earth.
that makes sense. But the dark side of the moon is the side which never faces the Earth. The
Never faces the Earth.
opposite of the word always, it has to be there, because the line said so. Where was it? Yeah, it is locked to Earth so that it always has the same half facing the Earth. The other half is called the dark side of the moon. So by looking at the sentence structure, you will have to put never there, which never faces the Earth, because the other half is always.
Yeah, because I thought
The way you thought is correct. Actually,
we
most
need
of the students fail to locate the answer. They just write something else, which always something like that they say. But luckily, you understood it has to be the opposite.
Yeah. Okay, so like for this one, like we don't have to actually get the same wording out of
the same word. Something that fits.
Okay. Because
there
all the from 9 to 12, it's It's like
Exactly.
solid the same answers from out of the
Okay.
passage. I was like, okay,
Yeah.
how can I not have this?
Okay.
Okay,
Can
yeah,
we see
understood.
how we write the answers to passage 2 as well? Just see how you write the answers. Can you follow the technique I was just telling you? Read in chunks and then see whether it's easier for
Yeah,
you. Okay.
okay, I'll try that method now. Which card has the most point? Hi, Auntie.
Hello. Okay, did you manage to write the
Hi,
answer?
Adi.
Okay.
Yes, yes. For number 14,
Hmm.
it is C, and
Hmm.
15 it is A,
Hmm.
and 16 it is C,
Hmm.
17 it is D,
Hmm.
and 18 it is B,
Hmm.
19
Hmm.
C, 20
Hmm.
C, 21 B,
So for
22
21
A.
questions.
Oh,
Okay.
no, it's like choose the correct letter. Oh my god, did I do
So
that?
part
Wrong
2.
thing, no. This says reading passage 2 and answer question 14 to 28.
Okay, let's see the questions. There's no part 2 in it. 22. Right, questions 23 to 28. Page number 16.
Okay. Oh, I missed the page. I think that's the one you're telling.
Yeah,
The truth
you
was
have
on.
right answers to that. Okay. Yeah, you missed it, right? Yeah. Yeah.
Can we quickly
Yeah.
do it?
Yeah.
Is that
I
okay?
will give
Like,
you
can
enough
you give me
time.
like 5 minutes?
Okay.
I'm
Okay, can you
done.
read the answers?
Yes. Sorry about that. So number
Yeah,
14C
okay.
and 15A
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
16C,
Hmm.
17D,
Hmm.
18B,
Hmm.
19C,
Hmm.
20C,
Hmm.
21B, 22A,
Hmm.
and 23 is true,
Yeah.
24 is true,
Hmm.
25 is false,
Hmm.
and 26 is true,
Mm-hmm.
27 is false,
Okay. 27. What was
and
the other? False.
28 is true.
Okay. Uh, 27. It has
False,
to be
yes.
false. Rest of the answers are correct. Sorry. 27. It has to be not given. Sorry. It has to be
27
not
has to
given.
be. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Yeah, because it hasn't actually mentioned
Yeah.
about the wages.
Yeah. It has to be that.
Oh, is it? No, I'm not
Rest of
understanding
the
that.
answers are correct. So, did you follow the method I was telling, reading in chunks? Okay, do you think that it's easy? Yeah,
Yes, yes.
it's good.
That
Yeah.
is easy, I think. Yes, because I'm sorry, I didn't actually like I didn't think about the till the 28 question, and I was just
Hmm.
wondering why, because first also
Correct.
had like two different ways to answer, and I
Yeah.
was
Okay.
like, why is this just
Yeah.
A B C?
So I think that method is easy. Yeah. Can you try the
Yeah.
third one at home, and then shall I? There's a bit of lesson that has to be continued on question types, which is a long lesson. It will take quite a bit of time. So can you try the section 3
Okay.
at home, and then I will send you the answers. Okay. Okay, so I will
Okay.
continue
Sounds
on the
good.
lesson the next week, reading part 2. So to be honest, you don't have to know about the question types, but
Yeah.
to complete the lesson I will tell you, because this method is going to be easy for all of the question types. It's going to be easy for all the question types. Okay, do you
Okay.
have anything that you need to ask regarding reading?
No,
Yeah,
no,
you have.
Avanti, but this is the
Yeah,
same pattern,
yeah,
right?
pattern
Sometimes
will
it
be
will
a
be
fill
A,
in the
B,
blanks.
C,
So the next time will be
and
true false not given questions, and multiple choice questions. Uh, there will be different sort of questions. There will be a diagram labeling question, but
and
I don't think you will get it for general IELTS. Uh, Pattern is the same actually, so you have to use the same technique for everything. But if you do skimming and scanning, you will have to learn to which questions that you will have to use skimming, and the rest of the questions you will have to scan. So it's quite difficult and time consuming.
okay. So
Hmm.
when it comes to a number of questions, so each part
So yeah, the
has
number
40
will
divided by
change.
3, right?
Altogether it will be 40 questions.
Okay, 40. But normally
13 to, yeah,
it's
13
about
to
like
14
13 to
per
14
section.
per.
So you will have to look for
Okay.
around like two sections when it comes to question paper. So you missed. Yeah.
There will be like two types.
Okay,
Okay,
then
cool.
shall I
Thank
continue with
you.
the lesson the next day? Okay. Okay. Thank you very much for
Yes, yes,
joining
of
today then.
course.
Okay.
Okay, thank you,
Yeah.
Avanti. And will you? Oh, and I have another question. I'm sorry. The things that you sent me, I don't know. Seems like it's
The
not
links.
working for me.